So let's just dive right in, shall we? Let's start with our winter spice.
This is our winter spice that we started on the 1st of November. I always put the date I start on the bottom because my dates here always change depending on what I'm changing out. This is the date that I need to look at the soonest. And then I always put my date on the bottom that I started it on. I know you guys have your own ways of organizing this, and if you want to share it here, that would be great. But it is really important to figure out a system of keeping track of when your dates, when you first start your extracts, and what the next step is in your extract. So our next step with the winter spice is we're supposed to remove the cinnamon in 1 month. And so we're just gonna do a quick sniff here, but before we do that, I want to kind of take it over to you so you can see the color.
And this is just 3 weeks old, and you can see how quickly it extracts with all of the recipe, the ingredients that we put in last time. It's beautiful.
You can see
it's
that
amber.
allspice berries are kind of floating at the top. You see some star anise, and then you've got the cinnamon here down at the bottom, and then more at the bottom here, but the color is lovely.
The cinnamon.
This is just 3 weeks in.
Right. So the cinnamon would float when we first put it in, but you see as soon as it absorbs all the fluid, it sinks down.
Yeah.
But the allspice berries, they continue to kind of float up on top a little bit. But many of them have come down as well.
Yes.
Back to the point on tape, particularly when you're making these complicated extracts with lots of steps every month, the tape's helpful because it's a painter's tape that we use. You can pull it off and then put a new thing back on. And so you've got your next step and your next step, and there's no residue left on the bottle.
And
it's super functional.
I hate stickers. It's one of my hugest pet peeves. We do so many extracts, we're pulling things out, putting things back on, and until I gift something, that's when I put my pretty label on. Until then, this is just a working label. I'm pulling them off, putting them on, and painter's tape is my best friend.
And you can write little tips on it just to remind you that, like you said, the date on the bottom, and then you'll put the updated date on the sticker, and you say remove the cinnamon. You've got 12-1, remove cinnamon.
And I also have page 77, so I know from the book, if I have any questions, I can just go there really quickly. It's just a little place for me to write my notes.
There you go. So a lot of detail just in how we use stickers, tape, notes on the bottle to make sure that we keep everything organized. Really important.
Yeah, because if you don't, I have several bottles that I have like question marks on because and they're amazing, but I can't replicate it because I don't know my steps. And so it's really important to try and find a way that you can organize and whatever works best for you. We'd love to hear, share with us.
Yep. Connie uses painter's tape as well. It's just functional. It works great. Is the tape trick in the book? No, it is not in the book.
That's why we have this group.
We have all these notes for our next book that we've got like a format that we're looking at already because we had to stop editing our book like a year ago, and so
more than that.
Yeah. And so we have a million ideas of what needs to go into like the next edition if we're fortunate enough to have a next edition.
Yeah.
So it's not in the book. The tape trick. This is exclusively here in the VanillaPura book club that we're talking about the tape trick. But we're gonna get word out and make sure that everyone knows because it's a great trick.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so we're just gonna open this up and just kind of take a sniff test here. Wow, that's already wonderful.
Now, one question that's
yeah.
it's so good. So one question that is asked is, can you start taste testing after a month? You can, but it's still going to be mostly alcohol. And so it's all about how it smells on the nose in the early days of extracting. You're kind of making all these judgment calls about how it smells on the nose.
But it's very scientific, right? If you really want to see the difference, go ahead. You're just putting it in milk anyways, right? And so if you want to taste test it at each step, then you'll really kind of see the difference of what a month and 4 months and 12 months really is.
That's true. You can certainly go ahead and it'll be weak. You're going to get more alcohol than spice, but you'll certainly see the difference. But and we smelled this before the live, what we noticed is that the cinnamon is still not coming through.
Surprisingly, because that's a pretty strong spice, but what I'm really getting through here is the allspice berries and the anise, the star anise. They are kind of the forward spices that I'm smelling here. So my recipe says to take the cinnamon out after a month, but I'm gonna leave this in a little bit longer because I'm really not getting the cinnamon that I want. But the recipe in the book says take it out. So this is one of those things that you need to make a call when you open it up and you smell, because what you want is different than what other people want. It's very subjective of the spices that you want from this.
Well,
so we're gonna leave it in here. I'm gonna change my note here, and I'm gonna try it. I'm going to wait another 2 weeks and see what I think about the cinnamon there, because it's not quite where I want it.
And that's with the journals in the back of the book, and we're going to keep saying this over and over again. Our book was designed to help everyone get a starting point. And so it's a baseline of recipes that we know work, but now it's time to make them all your own. And that's why the journal is in the back, because you may choose to leave every single one of these spices in for a little bit longer based on your own custom taste. And that's what we love about extract making, is we could go around the country today and go into every one of your homes, and each one of you will have an extract that no one else has.
Yes.
Either with the spirit that you selected, with the amount of time that you leave it in the jar. They are as individual and beautiful as you are.
Yeah.
And that is what we love about extract making. They're you, they're different. And so make it yours. We decided we want more cinnamon this time. So we're just gonna let cinnamon go for a little bit longer.
And that's what's fun about this group, is that, you buy the book, you're gonna get the recipes. You come to our group, we can talk about, the funny things like, oh, we use this tape, or hey, my cinnamon needs to be in here a little bit longer. It's all these little things that we couldn't put every single thing in the book. That's what we're trying to get from this fun book club.
Exactly. Then we'll capture it and we'll try to do it again. Everybody's saying, oh my gosh, another book. There's no formal book on the horizon yet, but we are certainly, just like we did with this one, we're making notes and creating sort of an outline of things that we do want to cover.
So if you do want to take your cinnamon out here, what you would do is you'd put it into like a strainer, and you just pull out all of the cinnamon and then leave the rest, put it all back in, and let it go for, I think it's 4 months.
On the winter spice.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you would let it go just a little bit longer, and then check it again. So we're gonna leave this in here a little bit longer, but if you want to strain it out, just put it in a strainer, take the cinnamon out, put everything back out, and then when you get to the next step, you take the rest of the spices out, and always, always, always leave that vanilla in, ladies and
Yes,
gentlemen.
Always. A couple of things that have come up. One, on the extract making journal, we have it was like 12 or 16 pages in the back of the book that you can write in, so they've got your journal, and everyone is like, that's not enough pages.
Yeah, we knew it wouldn't
And
be.
so if you go to VanillaPura.com and you click on extract making and you go to our guide center, you right at the top menu, just click on extract making. You see all those bullets, and if you go down a little bit, you'll see that we have free pages of our extract making journal. So you can print out, they're in PDF form, you can print out as many pages as you want, put them in a 3-ring binder, and you can make your journal using the same journal template that's in our book. You can make your journal as many pages as you like. It's totally free, it's there, download it. Make as many notes, scribble, be messy, write it all down, then organize it later once you kind of zero in on what your craft is. Have fun. Unlimited pages of extract making journal.
Well, and that's why I use the tape. And once I go through the whole recipe and I figure out what I did, then I'll write it down on something that I want to keep it. And then I have that record of it. But when I'm in the process, I just use the tape, because I never know, oh, wait a minute, I wanted to wait another 2 weeks for that cinnamon. And so I don't really write it in a permanent place until I've created something. And then that's where I usually, write it all out.
Yep. Love it. Okay, so lots of discussion on journals. Journals are really important for all these reasons.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
you forget.
Yep.